We're living in the afterglow of 10 years of the redefinition of marriage. And I'm here to say gay marriage is the litmus test for true Christian leadership. Let's talk about it. It's been 10 years since the Supreme Court redefined marriage. And let's be honest, when it happened, there really wasn't a ton of pushback from evangelicals about it. We just sort of accepted it. It's not like Roe v. Wade, where there was a whole campaign to overturn it and strategies and political candidates all working to repeal it. There was one woman, however, who did push back, a woman named Kim Davis.
There was a Kentucky County Clerk, Kim Davis, who basically became, the face of the pushback movement. And she refused on religious grounds to sign off on same-sex marriage licenses. She ended up doing 6 days in jail, and the state ended up passing a basically religious exemption, letting other people sign off on these marriage licenses when someone has a religious objection to it. So long story short, there was a gay couple who sued. They sued her personally and said, no, we want her signature on our marriage license. So a lower court actually sided for them on emotional distress. And Kim Davis has now, a decade since the Supreme Court upheld gay marriage, taken this issue to the Supreme Court. The two questions she's asked the justices to hear is, one, can she dismiss this, couple $100,000 that she's been fined for refusing to sign this one marriage license for this gay couple on the grounds that she's immune as a government official? And then two, will they overturn their Obergefell ruling? There are still 3 justices on the court who dissented in that case. So there might be at least 3 votes to take this up. The question is if there's another one, because it takes 4 justices to vote to actually schedule oral arguments.
Now, I have no idea if the Supreme Court will actually hear Davis's case. From what I hear, it might not be the right kind of case to get the court to revisit the Obergefell decision. I hope they do. I pray they do. But here is what I want to say about all of this. Gay marriage is a litmus test for conservative Christian leaders. For decades, the conservative movement has been dominated by a libertarian-leaning ideology that kind of champions the so-called neutral playing field. We're constantly told, I'm going to be told in my comments, more than likely in this video, we're told that government should stay out of people's private lives, that religious views should not shape policy and laws, and that everyone should just do what they want in their private lives. Now, this sounds very appealing. Freedom, tolerance, individuality. But I think it's a fatal flaw. Neutrality doesn't exist. Every society has a prevailing set of values, and it's a binary choice. Either our values are rooted in objective truth and natural law, or their values, which lead to moral and cultural decay. Every law is based in some kind of moral system. The question is which moral system is the best? And gay marriage is a pivotal example of this thesis. 10 years ago, I think that conservatives, Christians in particular, made a grave error by not fighting harder against the legalization of gay marriage. Many dismissed it as harmless, saying it doesn't affect me, and what people do in private is their own business. But the truth is, gay marriage is a slippery slope. And those people, like Kim Davis, who took a public position against it, were mocked for doing so. In fact, be very transparent. When this situation with Ms. Davis happened, I felt embarrassed as a Christian. I didn't understand why she did it. I thought it was the wrong thing to do and that Christians shouldn't be involved in politics. I've changed my mind about a lot of things in 10 years. I was wrong. Kim Davis took a courageous stand on a local level with her job at stake. She went to jail for 6 days. She got a steep fine to stand against the lies. Fast forward a decade, we're not just debating marriage anymore. We're seeing our children exposed to drag queen story hours, very extreme pride parades and fetishes, confusion over how to define a woman. We have a Supreme Court justice who didn't want to define a woman in public, and even registered sex offenders buying babies via surrogacy. 10 years. 10 short years. That's all it took for the slope to emerge. Everyone said in 2015 that the people who warned us about the slippery slope were overreacting. It'll never happen. And here we are. The deeper issue isn't just about the moral decline of our society, although it is about that, but it's not merely about that. It's also about the government's power to redefine words. When the Supreme Court ruled in the Obergefell decision, it didn't just redefine marriage in some sort of innocuous way. It gave the state the power to redefine any word. If marriage, the sacred union of one man and one woman for one lifetime, can simply be defined into meaning something else, what's next? When government controls the truth, it becomes a tyrant. This isn't about imposing religion. It's about recognizing that words and their meanings matter. Allowing the state to rewrite them hands it unchecked control. Now, I used to lean a little bit libertarian. I didn't know that's what it was at the time, but I think that people like me, even innocently, fueled this problem. We put out the idea about neutrality in the public square. We operated on the assumption that a neutral society can exist, where all lifestyles can coexist without conflict. But back here in the real world, things don't work that way. Someone's values will dominate. And if we don't stand for objective truth and things like natural law, the reality that boys can't be girls, we're not just losing something politically. We're losing something culturally. We're losing a part of our humanity. And we risk our families, our children, and our nation's cohesion. This is why I say gay marriage is a litmus test for leaders, especially Christian leaders. We need leaders who will have the courage to face the backlash. Because even people who are against gay marriage privately, they're going to think this video is political suicide, that I'm even saying these things out loud, that I'm harming my public witness. But again, we're not just debating political policy here. We're fighting an evil ideology that attacks God's institution of the family and marriage and even the truth itself. And if we don't calibrate ourselves to reality, we're going to lose a lot more than elections. We're going to lose our churches and our culture and our country. So Christians, let's stop chasing neutrality. Let's stop chasing safety. Let's stand for truth because it is the right thing to do. The stakes are too high to do anything else. If this conversation resonated with you, please drop a comment below or share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure to check out our recent conversation with Katy Faust from Them Before Us. She shared her reflections on 10 years of Obergefell and why she wants to overturn it. I'll put a link to that in the description below.
Hey, if you enjoyed this content, come check out the Center for Biblical Unity. Download our free ebook, Is Christianity a White Man's Religion? Click on the link in the description below.